Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng had already gotten 4 black metals, and after getting the information of the 5th one, the 9-volume manual became complete. Only after he successfully got the complete 9-volume manual did he realize how extraordinary the manual was. Incredible. The golden horned beast closed his eyes. The words on 9-volume manual kept floating in his mind, and the combination of the words themselves formed a giant engraving picture. Each letter was a part of the engraving picture, and combining them made an engraving picture more complex than that of the miniature universe. How incredible. The letters in the manual constitute an engraving picture. I've never heard of such a thing. Luo Feng was amazed. He understood that it was because the 9-volume manual had reached an extremely high level. The closer it was to the universe origin, the more mysterious it would be. Like beast gods, their shapes were the manifestations of laws. The 9-volume manual was even rejected by universe operation law, and it couldn't be taught. Fortunately, Sitting Mountain Guest used Heavenly Soul Crystal to pass it, but he was only able to pass it on to 1 life. Others, like Supreme Inherited Techniques, were bestowed by the universe directly. But 9-volume manual was rejected by the universe, which meant the manual was more powerful than Supreme Inherited Techniques. And it couldn't be created by universe masters. Golden Horned Beast was dazed in front of the black metal. He was thrilled at the sight of the complete manual, but he recovered shortly. I can't stay here for long. I need to leave now. Golden Horned Beast put the black metal into his world ring using his godly power, and glanced across the valuables beside it. A powerful force arrived and permeated the entire Blood Cloud Palace. The time and space in Blood Cloud Palace were completely controlled. Space ripples were paused. No. Golden Horned Beast was startled. It's a universe master. The Golden Horned Beast turned his head around and saw a ferocious being walking in. He wore a fiery cape, and had 2 golden horns on his head. He also wore a mask, and his tail showed at the back of his armor. He stopped and stared at Golden Horned Beast. Blood Cloud Palace leader, Golden Horned Beast said, turning around. A universe master, thought Luo Feng. So what? Golden Horned Beast. Blood Cloud Palace leader gazed at him, then walked toward him. You're right. I am Blood Cloud Palace leader. However, his godly body started to change. The fiery cape became ordinary cyan armor. His aura changed. Fierceness became tranquility. The golden horns transformed into crystal, and the mask disappeared, revealing a familiar face. Teacher. Golden Horned Beast blurted, baffled by the sight. Blood Cloud Palace leader had turned into the shape of Master Sitting Mountain Guest. The aura was exactly the same as Sitting Mountain Guest, and aside from his aura, the power he emitted was stronger than that of Primal Chaos City Leader, that couldn't be replicated. Luo Feng. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled and said, "Did you expect this to happen?" Golden Horned Beast blinked and recalled his conversation with Sitting Mountain Guest in the Beast God sector. Luo Feng had asked whether it would take a trial for him to get the 5th black metal, and Sitting Mountain Guest had given him an ambiguous answer. Luo Feng had been curious and kept asking, but Sitting Mountain Guest refused to answer him. Outside the main palace of Blood Cloud Palace, Sitting Mountain Guest looked at the endless black airflow in the space in the distance. Golden Horned Beast adjusted to the size of Sitting Mountain Guest and stood before him like a lion. Teacher, I didn't expect Blood Cloud Palace leader to be you, said Golden Horned Beast body. No wonder no one can deal with the Blood Cloud Palace. Blood Cloud Palace is only a body I made. Sitting Mountain Guest looked out into space and sighed. Although it's only a body, it's as powerful as Primal Chaos City Leader. It's enough to roam the universe. Why were you posing as Blood Cloud Palace leader? Golden Horned Beast's eyes glinted with confusion. Sitting Mountain Guest didn't need any disguise, given his power. Because of you, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Me? The golden horned beast was dazed. Sitting Mountain Guest nodded. Yes. To be exact, this is an identity I prepared specially for my third disciple. Whoever meets my requirement will inherit this position. Blood Cloud Palace Leader. Inherit it. Golden Horned Beast was stupefied. Damn. Thought Luo Feng. Teacher is bringing me trouble. Blood Cloud Palace Leader is a maniac who has enemies all over creation. All the powers want nothing but his demise. And teacher seems to want to have me inherit that position. Just as I cultivated your second brother, Sitting Mountain Guest exclaimed, I created another identity, Northern Prison Master. When your second brother is powerful enough, I'll have him inherit that position. What? Golden Horned Beast was even more shocked. Blood Cloud Palace Leader and Northern Prison Master. Both of them were bodies made by Sitting Mountain Guest. Northern Prison Master was an evil supreme being who was as infamous as Blood Cloud Palace Leader. He had a flying palace-type true treasure, Northern Prison, that had the powers of sealing and suppression. When he fought his enemies, he liked trapping them inside the prison, and if they didn't have the clone technique, they would have to resort to self-destruction. He was even more ancient than Blood Cloud Palace Leader, an evil being well known at the beginning of the universe, but he disappeared afterward. I meant to have your second brother inherit the position of Northern Prison Master. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. However, he still fails to satisfy me after an eternity, which is why I made Northern Prison Master vanish. Your second brother is not qualified to be him. Luo Feng was startled. Made him vanish? I don't have much hope for your second brother, which is why I devoted all my time and energies to you. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled and looked at Luo Feng. If second brother disappointed you, I might disappoint you someday, Golden Horned Beast said and lowered his head. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled. You already proved that you're better than your second brother when you successfully drove Star Tower. Star Tower is extremely powerful. Universe Knights, Universe Masters, and even Universe Supreme Masters don't have a chance of using it. The weaker ones don't have a strong enough willpower. It's impressive of you to survive life or death inheritance as a sector lord. That said, although you are better than your second brother, you still haven't met my goal. Goal? Golden Horned Beast looked at his teacher. Universe Supreme Master. Sitting Mountain Guest said. This was the first time that he expressed his true will in front of Luo Feng. When you become a Universe Supreme Master, I'll succeed. If your second brother becomes a Universe Supreme Master, I'll succeed as well. However, I don't think it's possible that he can become a Universe Supreme Master, as he's walked in a wrong path. Luo Feng was shocked. Both his oldest brother and second brother were Universe Masters, yet Sitting Mountain Guest was still disappointed and cultivated the third disciple. It turned out that Sitting Mountain Guest would like his disciple to become a Universe Supreme Master. What a crazy idea. There were only few Universe Supreme Masters in the universe. A race would be a pinnacle race if it had just one Universe Supreme Master. And a power would be a superpower if it had one. Even those Universe Supreme Masters that roamed the universe alone were the greatest and eternal beings. It was already incredible that Sitting Mountain Guest could reach the level himself, but he wanted to make his disciple a Universe Supreme Master. Crazy. However, Luo Feng couldn't help admiring his teacher. Sitting Mountain Guest did a wonderful job. He had cultivated the bloodline of the Flame God race and Earthlings, and he even made incredible true treasures like Force Armor and Original Soul, which were easy for him to create. He even created a supreme true treasure, Star Tower. It is extremely difficult to become a Universe Supreme Master, said Sitting Mountain Guest. You'll never become a Universe Supreme Master if you keep practicing all by yourself. Each Universe Supreme Master became one because of their experience and luck, but all of them became Universe Supreme Masters through blood and fire. You can't train yourself by excessive killings because of the bond you have with your race. Which is why I give you the identity of Blood Cloud Palace Leader. No one will know who you are, and your enemies are all around the universe. Once you show yourself up in the universe, all your enemies will race toward you. Sitting Mountain guest gazed at Luo Feng. You'll grow with all the training you have from your enemies. This is the best way I know to cultivate a universe supreme master. They'll recognize me. Golden Horn Beast blinked his eyes and was dazed. They won't. Sitting Mountain guest waved his hands, and a bloody pearl showed up. This is a special true treasure called Blood Cloud Pearl. It can change your aura and even camouflage your armor. No one will be able to recognize you, and the Flying Palace type true treasure Blood Cloud Palace will be yours too. Of course, if you disappoint me, I'll take back Blood Cloud Palace and Blood Cloud Pearl as I did to your second brother. Sitting Mountain guest gazed at Golden Horned Beast. My disciple. It'll be a new journey for you when you become Blood Cloud Palace leader. Do you dare to accept it? The golden eyes of Golden Horned Beast glinted fiercely. I do. Killing. A path of great beings. A new journey. It all sounded interesting. You crave for killing innately. Sitting Mountain guest gazed at Golden Horned Beast and nodded contently. You're a fit for Blood Cloud Palace leader. He threw out the Blood Cloud Pearl. Seal your life imprint in it and control the pearl. Golden Horned Beast immediately penetrated Blood Cloud Pearl in the sky with a trace of his godly power, and the pearl recognized Luo Feng as its master instantly. Blood Cloud Pearl, a true treasure specially coined by Sitting Mountain guest, had no information contained on it, and its function was peculiar. Actually, many true treasures coined by Sitting Mountain guest had peculiar attributes, like original soul and force armor. They all had strict conditions for users, and those who failed to meet the conditions were not able to use them, which showed the ability of Sitting Mountain guest to coin true treasures. Golden Horned Beast opened his mouth, and the Blood Cloud Pearl flew inside. Suddenly, the godly body of Golden Horned Beast started to change. His hind legs became longer and stronger while his chest and belly had more strength. The previously crouched creature became a standing one. There was a silver mask on his face, and there were 2 golden horns on his forehead. The scaled wings on his back immediately disappeared, and even the color of the beast god armor started to change slowly. It became a fiery cape, and a scaled tail extended out. Endless killing power emanated from its body. Wicked. Mad. He became the shape of Blood Cloud Palace leader. Ha ha ha. This Blood Cloud Pearl of mine. Isn't it fantastic? Mountain Sitting guests stood aside and looked at the transformed body, as if it were an exquisite piece of artwork. Incredible. Luo Feng couldn't help exclaiming. Both my power and my aura are given out by Blood Cloud Pearl. It's even able to change the structure of my godly body, but my power isn't affected at all after turning from a golden horned beast. It's also able to camouflage my beast god armor. It's magical. I needed to kill a universe master to create the Blood Cloud Pearl, Sitting Mountain guest continued. And I had to kill him by soul to preserve his godly body. Then, I used a large amount of material on his godly body to transform it into a Blood Cloud Pearl, so that it could give out special power and aura. It's even able to change your godly body into the structure I designed and camouflage a true treasure. Luo Feng was dazed. Blood Cloud Pearl was a peculiar true treasure. It didn't have any combat power, but it was desired by many supreme beings. However, Luo Feng didn't expect it to require a universe master to be killed by soul before it could be created. Perhaps only universe supreme masters were able to do that. Remember, Sitting Mountain guest said. Be careful when you use Star Tower. If you use Star Tower for attacks, it might not be identified by other great beings, but if you use it to flee, it'll definitely be exposed. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. Star Tower shrank to the size of a palm, taking the shape of a cone. It could be used as a horn. However, Luo Feng would need to enlarge Star Tower if he used it to run, and then it would be exposed. You'll definitely expose yourself if you use it to save your life. Sitting Mountain guest smiled. Whether you use Star Tower as Blood Cloud Palace leader, or Luo Feng depends on you. Luo Feng nodded. If Luo Feng used Star Tower exposed and Blood Cloud Palace leader used Star Tower exposed, he would basically be telling the universe that Luo Feng was Blood Cloud Palace leader. There's another valuable for you to save yourself, Blood Cloud Palace. I just took back my life imprint. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled. And from now on, it belongs to you. Blood Cloud Palace. Luo Feng turned around and looked at the towering palace. He immediately infused his godly power to the ground and sealed his life imprint in the palace. Blood Cloud Palace became a part of him, and everything inside the palace was under his control. He could even see the treasure vault inside. Blood Cloud Palace is a top-tier flying palace type true treasure. Sitting Mountain Guest said. It's extremely precious. Remember, you can use it only when you disguise yourself as Blood Cloud Palace leader. Otherwise, your identity will be exposed. Luo Feng nodded. I hope I will not take it back someday. Sitting Mountain Guest grinned. I am not my second brother, Luo Feng replied. I'll make you a promise, just as I did with your second brother. A promise? Luo Feng listened carefully. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled. If you can kill 10 top-tier universe overlords, or 1 universe master when you're a universe knight, I'll coin a pinnacle true treasure for you with the material you give me. The material needed to make a pinnacle true treasure is 1/10 the worth of a pinnacle true treasure itself. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Pinnacle true treasures were desired even by Primal Chaos City leader and Huge Axe creator. Ancestor and Sitting Mountain Guest bet on valuables at this level as well. However, if you become a universe master, the conditions will be much demanding. You'll need to kill at least 100 top-tier universe overlords, or 10 universe masters, before I make a pinnacle true treasure for you. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled strangely. When I say pinnacle true treasures, that includes domain-type true treasures and flying palace-type true treasures. Luo Feng's eyes shone. Damn. The best true treasures currently owned by the human race were pinnacle domain-type true treasures. I'll make a list of the materials needed for the true treasure you want, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Don't expect too much. The materials needed for pinnacle domain-type true treasures are so scarce that even your race might not be able to gather it all. They will, Luo Feng said, feeling motivated. Remember, you need to kill 10 top-tier universe overlords or 1 universe master when you're a universe knight, and if you become a universe master, the number will be tenfold. Sitting Mountain Guest sighed. I gave the promise to your second brother as well. He was already a universe master when he inherited the identity of Northern Prison Master, but he never met my conditions. Luo Feng was rendered speechless. Killing 10 universe masters. How demanding was that? Power wasn't all that mattered. Universe masters were experts at surviving. Even when it came to universe overlords, they were able to stall and call for help so that a supreme being or even a universe supreme master could arrive. After all of them had powers supporting them, and they would call for help if they knew their lives were at risk. Even universe supreme masters would find it difficult to kill 10 top-tier universe masters. No wonder Flame Emperor had failed. I need to kill 10 top-tier universe overlords or 1 universe master. Luo Feng exclaimed. None of the top-tier universe overlords are easy to deal with, and they might even summon universe masters to save them. As for universe masters, the best I can do is to fight them. Kill them. The conditions Sitting Mountain Guest put forward were incredibly difficult to meet, but the promise enticed Luo Feng. My teacher just wants me to kill. Luo Feng saw through Sitting Mountain Guest. This is Blood Cloud token. Sitting Mountain Guest threw out a red token. Luo Feng took it. It looked like the token his teacher had given him for contact. After it recognizes you as its master, you can give orders to the 18 servants using this token, Sitting Mountain Guest explained. All the 18 slaves are universe knights, and they are responsible for other special life forms. Servants. Luo Feng was curious. When I created Blood Cloud Palace Leader, I saved some special life forms during my adventure in the universe. They all begged to recognize me as their master. I'm a special life form myself, so I wanted to protect them. The more time I spent, the more life forms I saved. 18 of them became Universe Knights under my instructions, and 3 of them are top-tier Universe Overlords. You can use the token to learn the basic information about the 18 Universe Knights. I've been protecting them for an eternity, and now, it's your turn. Take care of them when you can. Sitting Mountain Guest paused for a moment. Star Tower, Force Armor, and Blood Cloud Palace. You've got everything. And I've done everything I can. And now, you're the one who can shape your future. Sitting Mountain Guest looked at Luo Feng and then, he disappeared. Luo Feng remained standing where he was. He felt the expectations in the look Sitting Mountain Guest gave him. Sitting Mountain Guest had cultivated Flame Emperor, and he was cultivating Luo Feng now. Apparently, he wanted a disciple who was a Universe Supreme Master. Perhaps there's a secret behind this, Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng immediately took up Blood Cloud Token. Teacher Sitting Mountain Guest asked him to take care of those special life forms as much as he could. He should definitely devote some effort to this. Luo Feng gave an order to the 18 servants through the token. He asked them to bring all the special life forms under them to see him in Blood Cloud Palace. Master wants to see us. Quick! You're lucky, little one. Master is seeing you. Ah? We're only sector lords. Can we really see our master? Teams of special life forms in ancient Qin secret region started to rush toward Blood Cloud Palace. It was like a pilgrimage to them. After all, Blood Cloud Palace leader only stayed in contact with those 18 knights. Other special life forms had no way to contact the palace leader. They finished gathering after a little over a day. All 18 Universe Knights led the special life forms under them to move forward in the dark, and flew toward Blood Cloud Palace. The door of the palace was opened. Traces of light flew across them. Inside the main palace of Blood Cloud Palace, Black Sky Horde leader, Silver Dragon Knight, and Black Thorn Devil Master were at the front, followed by 15 Universe Overlords and Senior Universe Knights. They were followed by hundreds of undying special life forms who were, in turn, followed by thousands of Sector Lord special life forms. Master, the 3 top-tier Universe Overlords groveled. Master, all the special life forms groveled. Blood Cloud Palace Master sat in his bloody throne, looking down upon them. Luo Feng sat on his throne and looked down at the numerous black figures kneeling before him. Thousands of special life forms were looking at him with surging emotions and worship. At that moment, a realization dawned on Luo Feng. These special life forms that seemed so uncommonly big and powerful shared a common grief. They were too weak and insignificant. Because of the lures of high levels of life and talent techniques, billions of races within the universe were taking matters into their hands, to either enslave or soul transfer. A group of special life forms without a strong protector would be quickly torn apart by the vast numbers of races in the universe who were blinded by greed. Devoured. Back when Blood Cloud Palace Master ran rampant about the universe, there was still a substantial number of special life forms. When he saw these special life forms being hunted down and killed, his heart went out to them. So, group after group of special life forms he rescued, until finally, he had gathered a group that amounted to a few thousand special life forms. After countless years of growth, with Sitting Mountain Guest's guidance, there were the births of top-tier Universe Lords such as Black Sky Horde Leader, Silver Dragon Knight, and Black Thorn Devil Master. Back then, they would have probably met the fate of being hunted and killed. Of course, since that time long ago, any races of special life forms without protectors had long vanished along the historical river of the universe, which was why some ancient beings like Primal Chaos City Leader owned quite a few special life form bodies. However, as time passed, during the times of later generations such as Luo Feng's, it was rare to see special life forms due to soul transfer. Sitting Mountain Guest protected them, guarded them, guided them. He was just like a father to them, Luo Feng said to himself. No wonder they all call him Master. They really respected and worshipped him from the bottoms of their hearts. As of today, thought Luo Feng, I am thus, Blood Cloud Palace Master. I may have gained a new power, but I have also rid a part of Earth's. I have a new responsibility to take on. 3 top-tier Universe Overlords. This was indeed a force that many powers of the universe would covet. Especially Black Sky Horde leader, whose godly powers were almost 100 times purer than those of Heavenly Young Knight. Though both were senior true treasure armors, Luo Feng needed a force that was 2 levels higher than what he used to kill Qian Yang Knight in order to bring about the same attack power, and Black Sky Horde leader's godly body was millions of miles larger. That was billions of times bigger than the godly body of Qian Yang Knight, which was not even 30 feet tall. As for Silver Dragon Knight and Dark Thorn Devil Master, thought Luo Feng, their godly bodies were not as outrageously big, but neither were they small. With the 3 of them around, this force of special life forms they make up, so long as they do not cross paths with Universe Masters, will be able to ward off attacks from any other opponents. Luo Feng nodded as he analyzed the situation. Protecting such a force would not be as difficult as protecting his own kind on Earth. After all, this bloodline of special life forms had matured over countless years. They could protect themselves. A sudden realization dawned upon Luo Feng. The reason the treasure vault contained so many precious materials, treasures, and ordinary true treasures, was because Luo Feng's future opponents would be Universe Masters. If he used ordinary true treasures in a battle against a Universe Master, they would be shattered right away. Obviously, these ordinary true treasures were not what Sitting Mountain Guest had left for Luo Feng, but for this group of special life forms. Black Sky, Luo Feng spoke. Master, Black Sky Horde leader replied politely. Luo Feng looked down. The true treasures that all 18 of you possess. Tell me about them. Yes, Master. I have a senior true treasure armor, 6 senior true treasures heavenly hammers. Black Sky Horde leader then joked good-naturedly, saying, Master, are you going to bestow me with a top-tier true treasure armor? Previously, you even said, the next time around, you would find a way to get me a top-tier true treasure, and you told me that if I owned a top-tier true treasure armor, even Universe Masters will find it difficult to kill me. Luo Feng was taken aback. Top-tier true treasure armor. Teacher had left him with a treasure vault that only contained about 100 ordinary true treasures. Sitting Mountain Guest teacher is so scheming, thought Luo Feng, grumbling to himself, but there was nothing he could do. Now that I have succeeded in the title of Blood Cloud Palace Master, the responsibility of designating valuables for the great beings under my command is also mine. I am thinking of a solution, Luo Feng answered. Top-tier true treasure armor is not easy to obtain. Yes, but Master will be able to make that happen, Black Sky Horde leader said. Luo Feng quickly moved on. Next. Silver Dragon Knight, Dark Thorn Devil Master, and the rest gave respective reports about their own true treasures, and Luo Feng discovered that these 18 Universe Knights all possessed true treasures, which were obviously obtained based on their personal capabilities. For instance, the 3 top-tier Universe Overlords owned senior true treasures, and each of them owned a few true treasures. Luo Feng had initial plans to bestow true treasures to them. Thus, he had to banish those plans. In the end, he could only bestow some other undying special life forms with treasures before he concluded the meeting. This is a form of power, Luo Feng said to himself. Although I shoulder the responsibility of leading and guarding them, they can also help me with a lot of things. In the future, for my kind living on Earth, I would certainly be the one to protect them. Black Sky Horde leader, together with this group of special life forms and the branch of life forms on Earth, should be able to complement each other. That very day, Luo Feng ordered all these special life forms to retreat. And to Black Sky Horde leader, Silver Dragon Knight, and Dark Thorn Devil Master, he commanded, Black Sky, Silver Dragon, Dark Thorn, I need to make a trip out. Matters regarding those children in the ancient secret region. Please take care of them. If you all are unable to settle them, inform me. Yes, Master, all 3 replied through their tokens. That very day, Golden Horned Beast body secretly returned to the human territory, back to his god country. Luo Feng's life had been divided into 2 parts. One of it took the form of a Golden Horned Beast, and was involved in studying Star Tower based on his knowledge of pictures of secret engravings, while the other took the form of an Earthling original body, and stayed on Redbud Island for self-cultivation. His original Earthling body had started to cultivate the 8th volume of the 9-volume manual. The advantage of having a small godly body was that the rate of cultivation would be much faster. After about a year or so, Luo Feng had mastered the 8th volume. His life gene level increased from 9,800 times to 10,050 times, and this was purely a rough gauge estimate. Thereafter, Luo Feng moved on to mastering the 9th volume of the 9-volume manual. During the cultivation process, his life gene level increased at an extremely slow rate, especially when he was midway through. Suddenly, his life gene level arrived at its bottleneck. It stopped increasing when it was one final inch away from the perfect life gene level. No matter how he continued with the 9-volume manual, his life gene level would not budge an inch. Just a little bit more. Remote ocean body and golden horned beast body reached the perfect gene level right away, but my earthling body still needs the last bit to reach the perfect life gene level. No matter how I try to start cultivating the 9th volume of 9-volume manual from the middle, it's all useless. Luo Feng was panicking. Useless. No matter how he tried to go back and forth during the cultivation process, his life gene level remained stagnant. Just that little bit more. What am I supposed to do? It was his 3rd year on Redbud Island. Luo Feng sat cross-legged on the stone bridge by the pond in the courtyard of his mansion. By this point, he had finally reached the last step to completing the 9-volume manual. His golden horned beast body and remote ocean bodies had both attained the perfect gene before they could reach the final step, so his original earthling body was the first to have cultivated the final volume. There Luo Feng sat, with his entire being emitting a sound as mighty as a surging sea. At the same time, golden threads started to form, and his skin glowed. A gigantic, mysterious, intricate picture of secret engravings appeared all over him. If Luo Feng's skin were to have been peeled off and laid flat, it would have formed a picture of secret engravings. Although it was different from the engravings of the 9-volume manual, the aesthetics were the same. Luo Feng felt a fundamental breakthrough happening to the origin of life. It seemed he had made it through the bottleneck. His life gene level had finally moved once again, albeit a small step forward. Just this one small step, however, represented a leap toward a fundamental breakthrough. A breakthrough. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with glee. I must make a trip back to my god country. Luo Feng could feel his godly body attempting to absorb the power, and felt its continuous growth. On Redbud Island, there was insufficient power to absorb, so he needed to transfer back to his god country as soon as he could. He left Redbud Island quickly. In his god country, the limitless remote ocean set off tumbling waves a few hundred miles high. At the peak of the waves, a black-haired youth stood in midair, stark naked. An immeasurable amount of ocean water was surging up from beneath, as though there were countless ribbons surrounding him, continuously being absorbed by him. The black-haired youth started to grow bigger and bigger. From a height that was below 6 feet, he started to grow taller at an alarming rate. 30 feet, 300 feet, 3,000 feet. The godly power within his godly body was continuously increasing as well. The increase was more than trillions of times. It had reached an unsurpassable stage that was tumultuous and frightening. When he became a towering figure standing at a height of over 55,000 miles, the growth finally stopped. As of today, said Luo Feng, my original earthling body and my golden horned beast body shall be my main battling powers. Luo Feng smiled. His original body's godly being was very pure, but it was small. As a result, he had been unable to use I am the universe. But now, his original earthling body and his golden horned beast body matched in size. Naturally, it was able to display greater powers. Just like when displaying golden light, the ultimate technique of a universe master, he did not need to worry about his godly body being overly used up. It's time to pay Primal Chaos City a visit, he said. That cutting pearl sword is now too weak for me. First and foremost, Luo Feng headed to Primal Chaos City in the Primal Universe. He gathered together his cutting pearl sword and a large quantity of ordinary true treasures he had obtained from all the hunting he did on the original star. Then he added on 20-odd true treasures from the treasure vault in Blood Cloud Palace and calculated a total. Lastly, he added on the remaining true treasure points that he had to trade for a top-tier true treasure blade, Sorrowful 9 Snow. The blade was originally named Sorrowful 9 Snow, but Luo Feng gave it a new name. Thus, it became known as Ghost Blade. Black Sky, Silver Dragon, Dark Thorn. The 100+ true treasures in the treasure vault are what Master has left for you special life forms, but all those fellows still need a long, long time to grow up. I will take part of the total now, and I will return them in the future. Now that the bug soldiers, automaton race, and demons alike was so eager to take him down, Luo Feng was feeling the pressure, too. He needed to become even stronger. This was for the better. With the Pinnacle True Treasure Force armor activated to the 3rd form, where enemies' attacks were reduced to only 1 of 10,000 their original power, and a godly body that was 55,000 miles tall, his survival skills had attained an alarming level. If he were to battle with a Universe Master, a mere senior true treasure blade was obviously too weak. He left his god country and returned to Redbud Island. Golden Horned Beast Body took off from the pictures of secret engravings and continued to stay in the god country to study the secret engravings on Star Tower. On Redbud Island, Luo Feng stayed in silent retreat to continue increasing his comprehension of the Beast God Path. After all, the more one could comprehend about the Beast God Path, the more beneficial it was in attaining more in the field of secret engravings. And with such peaceful days, it was little wonder that within the blink of an eye, 61 years had done by. This video will end here.